We're gonna talk about the 8 stands that would beat Goku easily. We all know Goku's the ultimate powerhouse. He's broken through every limit, from Super Saiyan to Ultra Instinct, and has gone up against gods, angels, and cosmic level threats. But here's the thing, as strong as he is, not every battle is about raw strength or speed, and for anyone familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, this won't come as a shock, because when it comes to stands, we're dealing with abilities that can completely bypass brute force. I mean, this is the world of JoJo, where punching harder doesn't always mean winning. Alright, so we've established that Goku is a powerhouse who can pretty much handle anything thrown at him. But if you're familiar with the JoJo universe, you already know that power alone doesn't always guarantee victory. With that being said, let's talk about cars from George Joestar. Yes, that cars, but cranked up to a level of insanity that would make even Goku sweat. For those who might not be as deep into the lore, this version of cars is way beyond the ultimate life form we saw in part 2. In George Joestar, cars evolved to become pretty much the most broken character in JoJo. Is literally immortal, not just in the can die sense, but in the survive anything and adapt instantly sense. It has an infinite number of abilities thanks to his ultimate life form status, including the ability to mimic any other power he comes across. And trust me, we're talking about powers that Goku has no counter for. Now, here's where things get really wild. Cars not only can use multiple stands at once, but he can also adapt and evolve to the point where he can counter anything Goku throws at him. He can copy stands like D4C or even the world, giving him time manipulation, dimension hopping, and reality warping abilities that completely bypass the physical limits Goku relies on. Goku's strength, speed, and energy attacks wouldn't matter against someone who can erase timelines or dodge attacks by jumping dimensions. Even if Goku managed to land a hit, cars would just regenerate and adapt, becoming stronger with every encounter. And let's not forget that Cars' intelligence is off the charts. While Goku might try to power his way through a fight, Cars would outthink, outadapt, and outlast him without breaking a sweat. So yeah, in a straight up brawl, Goku's raw strength is impressive, but against this version of Cars, the odds are stacked up against him, no question.
Wonder over you.
So Wonder of You is a conceptual entity representing the flow of calamity. Goku can't kill him unless he can apparently kill conceptual entities. On the flip side, I can't see most of the calamities killing Goku via being Goku. However, Wonder of You can very much negate durability by doing stuff like causing people's necks to instantly break, or raindrops to pierce people like bullets, and cause people's legs to fall off because they tripped and etc. But I don't see a reason why he can make it so Goku hits himself with an attack or loses control over his key abilities, like when he took control of Josuke's bubbles, or make someone accidentally chop off their hand. Yes, we're talking about Whitesnake from our incredible Pucci. It is the first stand to be featured before evolving to Sima when it merges with the Green Baby. The stand has the ability to remove 2 discs from an individual's head. The first is its memory disc, which when removed, takes all the memories of the victim, making it impossible for them to remember anything until the disc is replaced. The second is the soul disc. When removed, leaves the user in a vegetative state, a kind of coma that causes the individual's mind to undergo a degenerative process, but still slowly salvageable by putting the disc back. Of course, the person has to be taken care of correctly, that it's not its physical strength or the poisonous gas that can defeat Goku, but the abilities with the discs. Enrico Pucci would only have to hide and use the long-range abilities of his stand to approach Goku. Heaven's Door is the stand of the eccentric manga artist Rohan Chibi. If the user wants something, whatever it is, he shows his drawings to someone. It activates its ability to summon Heaven's Door and open the person's face parts, as open pages of a book. The nuance is that the victim will remain paralyzed until the stand is deactivated, and when the individual falls into the trap of Rohan, he becomes able to access, erase, and rewrite memories. It wouldn't be too difficult for Rohan to get Goku to fall into one of his traps. The requirement would be that Goku would have to look at one of his drawings, put a stand to take total control over his body to finish the Saiyan off. From there, anything's possible really. He could write on Goku to do something harmful against himself. It's not really a challenge for Heaven's Door. Osiris and Atum are the stands of the Darby brothers, the secondary villains of Part 3. Both have the same power, so let's use only one of them as an example, which is Osiris from Daniel Darby. The older brother, the stand has the ability to absorb the opponent's soul and turn it into poker chips. If they lose a bet made with Darby, Darby doesn't necessarily absorb the soul of the one he's playing against, but the soul of the one who accepts or admits defeat in his subconscious. Any trick is allowed as long as it's not discovered by the opponent. This way, it seems quite plausible that Goku could fall into a trap set by Darby. All Darby would need to do is to invite Goku to play one of his games, and since Goku is, with all due respect, a mental midget, pulling his leg in a game such as poker would be a walk in the park for Darby. Do you really think Goku knows how to play poker? Of course not, because even most normal people cannot. He could take the soul disc out of Goku, incapacitating the opponent and killing him in the long run. Chip Trick, originally owned by Masazuki Noto. He plays a more neutral role in Part 4. For a short period, it belonged to Rohan. Chip Trick is a sentient stat, which is not very useful really, having a personality and will of its own, even going against its own user to achieve what it wants. Its ability is quite simple. If someone looks at the user's bet, Chip Trick latches onto that person, making the unfortunate soul who saw it kill the user, rendering them just a useless shell. Chip Trick cannot be seen by normal people like any other stat, but can still make them its users, considering that its stats are quite low, especially in strength. Just how the hell can Chip Trick beat Goku? It's actually not that difficult, but we will need two people for this battle, not counting Goku himself. First, the original user and another challenger with him. Taking into account Goku's naivety and arrogance, the original user would only have to ask Goku to show his back. Since Goku is not a stand user, there would be no way for him to see the stand making the move. So the second fighter just needs to look at Goku's back, acquiring the stand for himself and leaving Goku with a grievously injured back, which of course would kill him. Notorious BIG, the stand of the most sinister mafioso in Part 5, Cat. Notorious BIG is another independent stand that activates after the death of its user. It moves guided by sound. Despite being small and seemingly inoffensive, it has frightening strength and is surprisingly ridiculously fast. It caught Aerosmith, Naranja's stand, which was flying at over 700 km per hour without showing any difficulty. It can also consume living beings and objects, which makes it progressively larger. Its most significant peculiarity is that it is immortal. It will never die, regardless of the attack that hits it or the time that passes. The victory in extension could be achieved in two ways. The simplest would be to sneak up on Goku and consume him after being guided by his voice or some noise emitted by him. If the Saiyan can't see it, he wouldn't even know what he was being attacked by. The second way would be due to Goku's exhaustion, where in a scenario where he could see it, he might try to face it alone. However, since Notorious BIG is practically invincible, it is more likely that Goku will succumb to exhaustion. In this case, Goku could use his ki to push the stand to the ocean, incapacitating it, or even use Mafuba to seal it away, as Master Roshi did to King Piccolo. With Dragon Ball Super, this is another story, because he actually knows Hakai, but this is Z Goku I'm counting here. And lastly, the most obvious of all, Joro no Giovanna's Gold Experience Requiem. Supposedly the supreme stand of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It has the power to create life out of nothing, but the main ability of Gold Experience Requiem is precisely the return to zero. Any action taken See you in the next one.